Turning now to a problem on many properties across the state, squatters. Throughout the last few years of covering homelessness and the housing crisis, I have seen a lot of places taken over by squatters. In July of 2023, I went inside the Charles F. Berg building in downtown Portland. It's a historic building which had been sitting empty for years. Squatters had moved in. Look at that, leaving behind blood, needles, urine. Let's just say a huge mess. I mean, I literally can still remember the smell to this day. Back then, I talked with the building's broker.
They were obviously doing like active drug use throughout. You can see each of them kind of chose a bedroom, and they each had their stuff in bedrooms throughout the building, like in our office spaces.
So crazy. Now, the year before, in 2022, I met with a realtor representing a homeowner in Southeast Portland who was beaten up by squatters living in his home, and he struggled to sell it because of how hard it was to get them out.
It costs money. You got to get an attorney, file out all these papers, and it's like 90 days minimum. But if you don't have the financial resources, you're screwed, and that's the bottom line.
So that home eventually did sell to a man who was able to convince the squatters to leave. But not everyone has the resources to devote to evicting squatters, which right now can take months. The police won't usually remove people who claim they have a right to live there. They leave that one up to the courts. And the court process to get someone evicted from a home takes a long time. But lawmakers in Salem are hoping to change that. The House unanimously passed House Bill 3522 last week that would allow homeowners or landlords to get squatters out much faster. And you heard that right, unanimously passed. We can't say that often in Salem. Right now, you can't evict a squatter unless you can prove they forced their way into a home or that they already had an established landlord-tenant relationship. You have to go through a different legal path called ejectment, which takes a lot longer and costs way more. This bill defines a squatter as anyone who stays in a home without the legal right to be there. It also gives owners the right to use the state's standard eviction process with just 24 hours notice. Now, one of the bill's chief sponsors, Representative Anessa Hartman, said she started working on the bill after hearing stories from people in her district, which includes Gladstone and Oregon City.
When a new constituent in Gladstone purchased their home through property auction, only to find that individuals that knew the previous owner had not left the house and claimed squatters' rights. While the new owner and law enforcement attempted to have meaningful conversations with these individuals, it quickly turned into a nightmare. Among other negative activity, the squatters began protesting by hanging Nazi flags around the property and making their feelings known by refusing to leave, even when they were offered services to help to relocate. What should have been a milestone moment for this new homeowner turned into a drawn-out and expensive ejectment lawsuit, spending thousands of dollars and waiting months just to gain access to the home they rightfully owned.
The bill had its first reading in the Senate today, and we'll be watching.